what's the difference between a spiritual, I mean myself path and a spiritual path that's about connection?
I think there's levels of engagement that you can go through and then maybe identify where you're at. In the 1960s, there was a big wave in the human collective to become a collective, an advanced collective, a high frequency collective. And the hippie movement was born, and the flower kids and the flower children and all these things started being born, and people started living in collective locations, and then it got hijacked, right? And instead of our world, our community, and our children and our lives, it became about my enlightenment. And that was a hijack. So whenever a person talks about my enlightenment and my spiritual path, you know they're hijacked, because that is what's it called? When two things can't exist together.
They're incompatible, and
they're something in terms.
It's a contradiction.
Contradiction in terms.
Yes, it is. It contradicts its own self.
Right. It's a contradiction in terms. My enlightenment is a contradiction in terms. We have seen, and people talk a lot about how when they've taken like the Ascension 101 course, for example, right, or any of the other courses by themselves for their enlightenment, they get a huge growth spurt, right? Their life changes often. But then they do it with a group here and Walk With Me Now. And it just blows their mind. It's like, why does that happen? Because even by talking with each other, we expand our awareness. That's literally the definition of expansion of awareness, when it's not just your awareness, but Cherub's or Ilias, right? Or Lee's, or Jane's, or Ray's, or Sorlin, you know? It's like, it's an expansion because you are aware of their awareness and you're listening to their thoughts and their insights. And thus, immediately your awareness expands. Yeah. So that is like examples of the difference. So that's why many, many individuals are feeling it very deeply that it's time, for example, to join Walk With Me Now. Because they know, and their higher self knows, I've reached the maximum level of what I can reach to as a singularity. And in singularity, there's no enlightenment. And we've been taught lots and lots of different things about enlightenment, and we have lots and lots of stories about enlightenment. And the ones that get a lot of track is the ones that the person does it on their own, which is an illusion. It's not real. The same with success. Oh, you know, I want to be successful, but if I get help, if I could get good counsel and good allies and good support system, that's not me doing it. That won't be real success, people think.
That's the Mountain Climber boy we were watching yesterday.
But actually, there is not one person on the planet who achieved success on their own. They might be the one that's everybody names and says, hey, that person's super successful. But they didn't do it on their own. They have a whole team of people. Sometimes parents are very supportive, right? Sometimes coaches, sometimes friends, sometimes just allies, sometimes people that they've paid. And where did they get the money to pay it, right? From other people.